Hey, little baby. It's April the 20th, 2016. A lot of people call this 420, and they're damn dope heads. Alright? Don't listen to them.
Alright, in one of my previous videos, in my letters to you, I talked to you about Phineas. How he stabbed some people in the stomach, and it was all in righteousness. And he killed some folks, and that's not good, but except it was good back then, it was done for the right reasons. Right, and I talked to you about the dangers of intermarrying. And the fact is, in the tribulation, that's just not going to cut it. If you intermarry, guess what? It's only a matter of time before that world comes crashing down on you. I don't want to see that happen again, so I talked to you about intermarrying. It's not a good idea. I also mentioned that, alright, shouldn't even be having relations with a dude unless you're married. Alright? And I did bring up the fact is that everybody and everything, 99.999% of anything and everything you experience, is going to be telling you the opposite of that. It's going to be making having random relations with fellas seem like the bee's knees. Now, that's a good idea. I'm going to tell you that's not, actually. And the reason that it isn't is for lots of reasons. Alright, but let's go through a couple. What people aren't realizing about themselves and their bodies is that we're made immaculately. It's a whole bunch of stuff we don't even have to think about. It just happens because we are basically miracles inside flesh. Right, that's how we're made. Right, and to go ahead and throw these miracles around all roughshod, all willy-nilly, it's actually a disservice to ourselves. Right, and the Bible goes through that, man. There's plenty of verses that you can go through. Talks about, certain verses talking about how, there's actually one verse in particular, I don't know if I can find it right now, I got some of them up, but it basically was talking about how, a lot of sins you do outside of your body, right, and that's not good either, but committing relations with someone when you're not married to them, when that's not the person you should be with, that's actually committing sin against yourself, and I found it, it's 1 Corinthians 6:18. Right? Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body. Right? But the sexually immoral person sins against their own body. Now, just like it's always been, in this day, and more so in your day, there's going to be a lot of folks who are getting raped. Right? That's not good. I have not and never will stand for rape. So a lot of folks in Islam do stand for it. I'm not saying all of them, but there's a lot that do. It's not ever acceptable in my eyes. It's not, rape's not good, and then not only that, there's a whole slew of people who are going to lie about being raped, and that's not good either, alright, because they make it hard for people who actually were raped, alright, so you're gonna have people getting raped, people lying about being raped, alright, and, meanwhile, a lot of us are trained up to not even think about it, but when we go around having relations with people who we're not married to, random people, we're becoming one flesh with them, and then we're drifting off and tearing that flesh apart. What we're doing is we're violating ourselves. We're basically raping ourselves, and nobody wants to admit that to themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a very long time to figure that out. Nobody wants to admit that we're basically raping ourselves, so we're going to go around and complain about this and that about rape, but at the same time, we're raping ourselves. You can imagine, like, baking an immaculate apple pie. It's like world class, right, with all the best ingredients, from ingredients that you grew from your own garden, world-class apple pie, and then you take it and you throw it out to the dogs. Well, what's the point of that? Don't make any sense. Alright? I just want to tell you, man, it did take me a long time to realize that. It's not something that just popped up in my head. Alright? I gotta tell you, the reason, besides the fact that we're made so immaculately, another reason, maybe an even greater reason, for us not to not be going around willy-nilly, having relations with this, that, and the other. And believe me, there's a lot of scientific evidence to prove that that's just not a good idea, right? Because not only do diseases pop up, but not only that, but you're taking in someone else's DNA. Lots of times, if you're not, quote, protected, you're taking their DNA, and you take their DNA with you, and it becomes part of you. And if there's some person you don't want to be a part of you, guess what? They're a part of you regardless now. Ain't nothing you can do to get away from that, right? Because you violated yourself. You didn't cheat nobody. You didn't hurt nobody really except yourself, unless you're passing them on some diseases, and then you did hurt them. But anyways, maybe an even more important reason to not be doing that is, like I said, you take in people's DNA. So let's say you slept with 20 different folks. All right, when you finally do have a baby, you decide to have a baby, you got married, have a baby. All right, the DNA that you took in, that might go ahead and, well, in fact, definitely will be a part of your baby. Alright? It'll sink into them. So that person that you took in, their DNA codes got into your bloodstream, just to put it simply. That's going to end up in your baby's bloodstream. That's like a scientific way of putting it. A more biblical way of putting it is you were unrighteous, or let's just say if it was another person, that person was unrighteous, and they were doing unrighteousness. And certainly that unrighteousness is going to come out in their baby. And there's actually a verse about that, but I'm not going to go ahead and find it right now. Like I said, there's a bigger reason. Even than the fact that you're perfect and beautiful, you're made in the image of God. There's a bigger reason why you shouldn't do it. And it's actually right in the beginning of the book. That book I've been talking about. Genesis. This is Genesis chapter 1, 28, verse 28. And it reads like this. And God blessed them. God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. And have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over every living thing that moves on this earth. Have dominion over it, meaning you rule over it. You're the king of everything that you see that's moving and living. Right? The reason God says this, in my interpretation, you know what I'm saying, is there is a war going on. There's always been a war going on in the heavens and in the earth. And God wants the righteous. If he could have anything that he wants, he'd probably want the righteous to have dominion over the earth. Right? And so therefore, when they do come together, when they be fruitful and multiply, that is having relations. That is getting married and becoming one with another person and having babies. That's exactly what that means, be fruitful and multiply. That's so that you can have righteous babies. And those babies, they're going to take dominion over everything just because they are so righteous. And they're going to have other righteous babies. It's going to continue. Right? But that's only if you follow the formula. If you stray away from the formula, you ain't going to have righteous babies. You're going to have all sort of problems with those babies. You're going to have to deal with it. Right? Me too. I mean, I'm not just trying to put this on to you. Me too. And there's a lot of people out there, while you're being tempted into having these random relations with folks, there's going to be a lot of folks in your life tell you, hey, don't do that. Don't go having relations with this person or that person. It's bad for you. You know, at the same time, you're going to know full well that this person would go ahead and do anything and everything. They don't exactly practice what they preach. All right, especially men out there, grown men out there that tell you, oh, I don't want you to do this. There's a lot of fathers out there. You know what I'm saying? Say, oh, man, I don't want my daughter to do this and that. Meanwhile, they go ahead and do this and that. It's ridiculous. Acting out of lust and stuff, not realizing that every time that if you enter into relations, I know it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. It certainly was for me, but every time you enter into that, guess what you're trying to do? Make a baby. Right? And this is part of the reason why, you know, homosexuality is considered an abomination. It's just because it's impossible. You can't ever make a baby. All right, a dude and a dude and a lady you can't make a baby. All right, and you might be saying to yourself, well, maybe one day a miracle will happen and God will make us have a baby. All right, I'm waiting for that. I sincerely don't think that that's in His plans. All right, but for those jumping off, you know, and talking about how homosexuality is an abomination and things like that, you know what I'm saying? It goes back to that verse. It's talking about, you know, yeah, your brother might have a twig in your eye, in his eye, but you have a big old flagpole hanging out your eye. You might want to get it out. That's to say, yeah, you could think homosexuality is an abomination, true, but you're going around having sexual relations in a lustful manner, just like they are. You know what I'm saying? With birth control, as if that's a good thing, putting these little contraceptives in ladies' arms, you know, having all sort of condoms and things like that, just because you want to have your fun and your pleasure. Meanwhile, that's not the point of that. Is it fun? Yeah, it is. It certainly is. I'll tell you firsthand, it is fun. Is it pleasurable? Yes, it is. It very much is. But that's not the point of this. Relations has zero meaning unless you're attempting to make a baby. Unless that is what your intent is. Right? A lot of people might say, well, what about old folks? You know, old folks can't have no babies, is what they're doing, all lustful and disgusting. I don't know. I don't get into it. But the thing is, there's plenty of examples in the Bible of very, very old folks having relations and making babies. All right? It's not unheard of. All right? So while I'm telling you this, while I'm saying, hey, listen, do not do it. The reason is because I learned from my mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you this right now. Out of all the times that I've had relations, and I've had relations a number of times, I regret every single one of them. I'm being dead serious with you. Except for one. All but one of them. I completely regret, and there's only one time that was ever worth it to do that. It's when I made a baby. It's when I made G. You know, I was there when, you know, you were being made. And that's the only time that I don't regret having had done that. I'll tell you this, I ain't never gonna do it again. As far as having relations with a lady. There's all sort of ladies out there who might not mind doing that with this dude right here. And, you know, there's all sort of ladies looking all sort of good out there. They're out there. But I learned my lesson. I'm not doing that again. If I ever do that again, guess what? I'm gonna be married just like the way that it's supposed to be, just the way that it's said in the Bible. Right? And you can count on that, man. That's a guarantee. Right? Because I'm not just out here trying to tell you you need to do this and that, and just not setting an example. That's not what this is. Right? I'm reminding you through my own actions and showing you um, where I got this idea. It's out of a book. It's out of a book that most people are afraid to read. And that's sad. But anyways, this went on long enough. I hope I got my point across. All right, it's April the 20th, 2016.